Friday night is here. Benjamin Nketiah here. Sports Panorama. We are live. And we have special guests in the house today. We have the people from AFTV. There's a big viewing party. It's happening at the Lagos City Mall. That's just a teaser, just so you know. So you know where you want to watch your football this weekend. It's Arsenal taking on West Ham. To even make it better, there's the Ghanaian interest to it. Partey might not be playing, but his spirit obviously is with the Arsenal team. Kudus, though, is in the mix. And so we'll be giving you all the updates. You out there at home listening to us live on radio can join us via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Let me let the gentlemen introduce themselves. Let's take it from Joseph. Yes.
Hi there, people. My name is Joseph. I'm from the UK. I'm CEO of AG Sports Management, the agency that brought Robbie to Ghana.
Bless. Rob?
Robbie Lyle. I'm from AFTV.
Nice one.
Great to be here in Ghana.
And I'm a lawyer Monday, CEO of BTL Africa. We are collaborating to bring all of the events around this big show together. Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm Cecil G, presenter at AFTV.
Cecil G, I like that. Like that. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Let's get on with it real quick. Rob, let me start off with you. I mean, for those who don't know the story, just briefly tell us about how AFTV started. Where did it come from? How has it gotten so big that you are here in Ghana now?
Well, briefly, lifelong Arsenal fan, in love with this club since I was a little kid, and wanted to start a platform that gave ordinary football fans a chance to have their opinions on Arsenal, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, and started in 2012, and it started off very small, just sort of me and a cameraman going around after games, speaking to fans and getting their opinions, until it's grown into where we are now, which is a very big platform with millions of followers, and also the fact that we're able to come to places like Ghana and connect with Arsenal fans and football fans over here. So it's been an amazing journey.
Lovely. I love the summary. I love how quick it is. Joe, just talk to us briefly about, where you conceived the idea to bring Rob to Ghana, how challenging it's been. Now that you're here, what's it been like?
I would say it was love at first sight. We met in Miami.
No one's ever said that to me before.
Yeah. So me and Robbie met in Miami, I think in November, at Soccer X. We basically talked about, youth development, football in Africa and everything. And I told him about some of the projects I was doing. And he's like, you know what, I'm happy. I'll be happy to jump on this. And I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of Arsenal fans in Ghana, so it'll be good for you as well to come to Ghana. And he's like, no, let's jump on this. So, long story short, we got in touch in London, and we got things going, and we're here.
Sounds good to me. Quick thoughts on, the whole collaborative effort, AFTV, Joe bringing the action down to the people. How have you stitched it all together to get it to happen? Because these things can be pretty hectic.
Yeah, it can be. But you see, the thing is that football people, we speak one language. Once the call came through to us, we're like, let's do it. You don't even think about it, right? And because we're all committed to football and advancing it, and this opportunity with AFTV is really unique because, we all follow the English Premier League. We're passionate. I run a football club in Ghana, So we're all passionate about the game. But every time we have an opportunity to do cross-border, cross-culture things, then you just like, okay, what does it take? And whatever it takes, you try to make it happen. I must go on record and say that I'm not an Arsenal fan. But football is one, right?
Yeah.
Football is one, and we all speak the same language. And this really, I sincerely think, I was telling my partners that I think this could be the beginning of really like big things that happens between Ghana, London, Accra, London, traditionally close ties. And there are so many ways that, you know, we could spin this off and create opportunities for the industry, football industry in Ghana. We've got our unique challenges, but these are the ways that we could actually accelerate growth.
Bless. So just quick thoughts. I mean, how did you meet Rob, and did you have to be an Arsenal fan to be a presenter on there?
Well, I'm an Arsenal fan. I've been an Arsenal fan all my life, but yeah, of course, that's what's it's AFTV. So of course, but yeah, we met almost 4 years ago now. 3 years ago,
Okay.
I started working at AFTV. We actually briefly met before that at the 1 million subscriber party of AFTV, which is when they hit 1 million subscribers. I met Robbie and he did an amazing speech.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, 5? I think 5 years ago.
You guys are massive.
5 years ago, and Robbie just spoke about how he wants to make, you know, a community of fan channels and you know, just build a platform and make, you know, he's a disruptor in the industry, in sports media. So, and just wanted to continue that and just change the narrative of just the mainstream media. And he's done that, and I've really bought into it. Glad to join the company 3 years ago, and ever since it's just been strength to strength, and that's how we're here now in Ghana. It just shows how far we've come.
Bless. Now, I was at the airport to meet you guys when you touched down. I saw the welcome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I saw the welcome. Rob was literally overwhelmed. Like,
I was.
Yeah, that's how we do in Ghana. We overwhelm you.
And he had his own version of the Adowa dance. not exactly the dance, but it was pretty smooth. I'll let you pass on that. But Rob, talk to us about Arsenal. I mean, the community down here in Ghana they've become more notorious in the last year and a half, because Arsenal obviously have started winning games. They were all hiding before when you went to the pub to go watch games. Arsenal fans come in their street clothes. They come dressed like Eloy is dressed today, and then they have their jerseys underneath. They just don't know if they can, you know. But these days, they're everywhere. I mean, I asked you earlier, do you think that Arsenal team is winning the league this season?
I think they've got a good chance. You know what I mean? I'm not guaranteeing this, and I don't think there's any football fan who can guarantee their team's going to win the league.
Yeah.
You know, there's some powerhouse teams there, Liverpool, Manchester City. You know, you can't even discount. It's so tight at the top.
I'm guaranteeing that Liverpool's winning the league.
Well, you know,
He's a clairvoyant.
he's guaranteeing that Liverpool's going to win the league.
I'm guaranteeing it right
I don't really
here.
want to disrespect you on your own show, you know. Say to you that, you know, maybe you may need to seek help on that. You know? Nobody can guarantee. You know what I mean? You've got teams like Man City with Pep Guardiola in charge. They're getting all their big guys back right now. Obviously, like you said, Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp in his last season. And you've got Arsenal, and in and around that, you've got teams like, you know, Aston Villa, Tottenham, you know what I mean, who are all capable of taking points off of any of the other teams. So I don't think anybody right now can sit there and guarantee their team's going to win the league. But the one thing I do know, Arsenal have a great chance of winning it. You know what I mean? They're only 2 points off the top. You know what I mean? It was a massive win over your team, Liverpool. Let me just remind you, your team, Liverpool last week, 3-1. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
We beat Manchester City this season.
Yeah.
Also in the fight. And that's the main thing at this stage, as I found out myself last year. It doesn't even matter if you lead in at this stage of the season. You can be overtaken. And it's happened to Liverpool as well before. So no guarantees at the moment. Still a long way to go.
I like how you are sprinkling in the slight tackles for me every now and then. I love it. But, I mean, let's talk about it, because I'm sure you've been asked about it since you got here. Partey, he's massive for Arsenal. A lot of people believe that Arsenal not winning the title last season was somewhat down to, one, him getting injured at the wrong time, and then losing form somewhat at the wrong times. How do you feel about him? Because from an online perspective, I feel like still Arsenal fans are very divided on Partey. There are those who absolutely love him, and there are those who can't wait to see the back of him. How do you feel about him?
I'm in the absolutely love him camp. I really love him as a player. I think he's been a player that's been very, very unlucky with injuries. You know what I mean? And we're seeing that again this season. He's hardly figured. So it's very frustrating. I don't think there's people who dislike him. I think a lot of people are very frustrated at the fact that he hardly ever plays. And, you know, I think you've got some fans have got to the point like, well, if he's never going to play, why don't we just go and get somebody else? Which I guess is a natural a natural thing, you know what I mean? But if we can get him back from now till the end of the season, and he can come in and was played like how he did last season, I mean, it's the type of signing that it wouldn't be a signing, but it'd be the type of player that could push you over the line. You know what I mean? So he's a player of immense quality, and we really could do with him being in the squad.
Let me talk to Joe real quick. Joe, as far as this viewing party is concerned, what kind of experience should viewers expect when they come out there? What time should they even get there?
I think it starts at 12. It's just going to be a fun-packed weekend, actually. It's a 3-day, 3-game event. We've got Arsenal, West Ham, Aston Villa, Man United. We've got the AFCON final as well. And there's going to be so much activities on there. So you just got to come through. I mean, tell a friend to bring, friends over and just come have fun. And I think that this watch party is a consolation for Ghanaians for the performance we had in AFCON. Do you know what I mean? So just come out in the numbers, have fun.
True.
Just, you can't come support the movement. And I think football is love, you know what I mean? And it's just all about love. And obviously all the Arsenal fans come and meet your Don. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that you are collaborating with the Arsenal fan group down here, because they are one of the most organized, fan groups down here. When they move, you can really feel it. And I love the fact that you are doing this in collaboration with them. So just quick thoughts on what you guys have done so far since you got here. I know you've been to Kumasi, you've done a number of things, but what's it been like connecting with the fans since you got here?
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The rich culture here is amazing. You can feel it. It just feels powerful is the best way to explain it. When I was in Kumasi and we saw the king yesterday, and everyone...
the great king?
The great king. His Majesty himself. It was incredible. And it's something that will live with me forever. I just feel... Like I said, it's the enriching of culture here is phenomenal, and everyone that we've met and greeted, they've been so open and have great. I'm a vibes man. I like good energy. Everyone has great energy, and big up Ghana, big up Ghanaians, and I can't wait to meet the Arsenal fans as well.
Nice, good energy is always infectious. Rob, what are you looking forward to the most on the day itself? 4:30 p.m. Arsenal, West Ham. There's a lot at stake in this game. It's a London derby of some sort. So what are you looking forward to as far as the game itself and then the day itself is concerned?
Well, in the game, victory. We really need to beat West Ham. They've beaten us twice this season. And they were the team that threw a spanner in our works last year when they came from 2 behind to draw with us. And that was sort of the beginning of the end of our title hopes. So we really owed them one. It's a really heated game as well now. It used to be a London derby that, yes, always a full house. But I think the whole Declan Rice thing, him moving to Arsenal, has sort of really pumped them up, their fans. Sure. So this will be a game that really does matter for West Ham as well as Arsenal. And for the day itself, I'm just looking forward to meeting so many Arsenal fans, so many football fans. No, it's not just the Arsenal fans. I'm looking forward to meeting just football fans in general.
A lot of Ghanaians just want to come out there and meet you guys because they've seen and heard so much. They just want to come out there.
I want to meet them as well. And it's just, meeting fans, having a chat and a bit of banter with fans. Me and you was having a bit of banter earlier, and it was great. So I just want to, I can't wait for the day. It's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to meet all the fans.
I'll take a final word from Joe and Eloy before we go, but I'll put you on the spot for some Arsenal trivia. Just quick thoughts. Let me see where you're at. Who's your favorite Arsenal player of all time?
Thierry Henry.
Who's your best Arsenal deadline day signing?
The best
deadline day signing.
I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil, right? Because I remember when we signed him, the response from the fans. We were interviewing fans on that day, and we'd had a horrible transfer window, and I was right outside the stadium. Yeah. And news was filtering through that it could happen, and that was a time when Arsenal weren't really spending no money either. And then when we signed Mesut Ozil, it was like nothing I've ever seen. Just spontaneously, people just came out onto the streets. It was crazy. It was like a carnival. And there was fans just celebrating on the street. They blocked off all the roads down by the Emirates Stadium. No cars could get through.
Are you kidding me?
No, I was serious.
It's a viral video of it.
I remember it was a summer's night. It was really, really, really hot. It was just a fantastic feeling. And, You know, at that time, there's a lot of fans saying this could be the signing that could win us the league. It didn't actually work out that way, but it was a big.
He was good value.
Yeah. No, he was a good player for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And it was just an exciting moment. So I have to put him down as the best deadline signing for sure.
Favorite African player to have played for Arsenal?
I think I have to go Kanu. You know, just because the impact he had with Arsenal all around Africa. That hat-trick he scored at Chelsea, I'll never forget. And it's a guy that I've met many, many times, and he's such a humble and nice person. I remember doing some stuff for his charity that he does, the Art Foundation. So, yeah, Kanu, definitely Kanu. You know, he's a really inspirational guy.
Worst signing ever for you in your books, Arsenal?
Worst. There's a few. Worst signing. Oh, man. Kim
I
Kallstrom.
knew he was going to go there.
To mind,
I knew he was going to go there.
From Olympic Lyon. I remember.
Kim Kallstrom, we signed him, and when we signed him in January, he had a broken back and was then injured, barely played a game. You know, he couldn't play for about nearly 3 months after signing him, and it was in January, so literally the season was nearly over. He did score a goal in a penalty shootout for us that helped us get to a final, but he was an awful signing, to be honest. But there's been a few. He ain't just him. There's been quite a few of them.
Finally, a player you could have back if you had the chance. Any player who left Arsenal, you could have back if you had the chance.
Still playing?
Still, no. I mean, either ways, retired, still playing.
A modern version of the person.
I think there's a couple when Van Persie left. You know, that one hurt me, seeing him going to Manchester United. And also Alexis Sanchez. That was another one because him and Özil had this great partnership. They were also playing wonderful football in times. And he actually went to Man United, and the story goes that on the first day of training, he rung up his agent and asked if he could go back to Arsenal because he didn't like it. But by that time, they'd already signed him. So, but yeah, I think it'd be, let me go Alexis Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah.
Great. Let me take final words from Joe. I take your final words, everybody else's final words, and then we can sign it. Joe, message to Ghanaians, anybody out there who probably wants to come out there and experience the viewing party.
Oh, well, I mean, it wouldn't be a watch party without BTL, Guinness, Starboy, Multimedia, City FM. I mean, the likes of other people out there. I mean, we just want to say a very, very big thank you to all of you guys. I mean, you've been amazing. I think Ghana in general is a beautiful nation, and I think we all have to come out on that day and just have fun. That's all I've got to say.
Nice one.
Yeah, no, listen, as I said earlier, I'm looking forward to meeting as many fans as possible. It's great to be here. You know, we're in full flow over here, and just excited for the day, excited to meet fans, and it's great to be spreading the gospel over here in Africa.
Nice. Hello.
Yeah, we're excited about this opportunity. I think that you asked a question earlier on what people should expect when they come. It's going to be greatly organized, like large screens, you know, lots of food and drinks. Starbites is going to be there. Guinness is there. Well, for both.
Depends on
whichever way you swing. And yeah, TCL. So it's just like a really great opportunity to come out and have a great time. We want to see a lot of the Arsenal people. Man United is playing on the day as well. And then, yeah, let's cheer against Nigeria, right? Like, it's a thing we're going to do on Sunday.
I know how that goes. Cecil?
Just kind of echoing what everyone else says. Obviously, big up Joseph as well, brought us over here. And just, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone Sunday, connecting with the fans, connecting with the people. That's what it's all about. And it's going to be vibes. It's going to be good energy. I can't wait.
Yep, good energy. Legon City Mall. The Arsenal game is at 4:30, but like you heard, it's a 3-game day. There's a Man United game, there's the Arsenal game, and then there's the AFCON
2
final.
o'clock, sorry, the Arsenal game.
Oh, yes, the Arsenal game. So, yes. So, I think there's a little...
Man United one's at 4:30.
It's at 4:30. The Arsenal game is at 2, actually. Then there's the AFCON final to crown it off. So, it's... fully packed day. Like they said, experiences, come enjoy. Good banter, football people. It's be good vibes out there.
It's going to be amazing.
And a chance to get on Arsenal TV.
Really?
We want to interview as many fans as possible. Let's make that clear. We want to do fan counts like we do back in the UK. We want to speak to as many of you. Player ratings. It's the whole same setup that you see online on YouTube. We're going to be doing it here in Ghana.
Well, Arsenal fans, you heard it from the people themselves. Come out there. They want to hear your opinions. You guys have a lot of opinions on your team, your
I know
players.
a few people with a
and
few
your-
messages for Ateta.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So come out there, deliver your message to Rob. Maybe Mikael might just hear about it. Guys, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
So you heard Rob Lyle, Cecil, and the people of AFTV are just coming through ahead of that viewing party. It's at the Legon City Mall. And it's on Sunday. Come through. Come enjoy the football. Come have some drinks. It's good vibes out there. Good banter. Let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll delve into some local issues. Sports Panorama will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Start every day with delicious chocolatey Twisco, enriched with Enafort, a blend of energy-boosting vitamins and minerals.
And where are you two going?
We are training to be winners.
Little winners drink Twisco with Enafort. Twisco, power your dream.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. Benjamin Nketiah here, Sports Panorama. So you just heard the AFTV crew just signing out. We are about to get into some local issues. Now this week, very interesting week. The National Sports Authority were at the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. So the African Games is just about a couple of weeks from now. There was supposed to be a testing of the facilities yesterday. That has been postponed. We'll talk about that. Also, like I said, the National Sports Authority appeared before the Public Accounts Committee over some interesting issues. So I'll highlight a few of those issues, and then we'll listen to what ensued at the Public Accounts Committee. First of all, let's listen to Professor Twumasi speaking to the Public Accounts Committee when he was there midweek.
So you wrote a letter transferring Mr. Tieku officially. Then you went behind your own letter to have a verbal discussion with him and told him that, hey, stay there. Don't mind my letter. Is that the case?
No, that's not the case.
What is the essence of writing to him?
The issue was that when the letter was raised, I think initially, as Minister was indicating, a young man appeared at the Cape Coast wanting to get access to take over the pitch maintenance in the Cape Coast when we already had engaged the green grass technology. Mr. Fragwai. He's the one who is a consultant who has been supporting our pitch maintenance. So we didn't have this communication, and I didn't have either. So he also wanted to check from the head office as to whether indeed this particular young man who he didn't even know is a rightful engaged contractor to come and take over. It was a purely misunderstanding. Because you see, the stadium is a very sensitive environment.
Honorable, I say honorable.
And
in fact, I nearly address you honorable. I won't because you got only 7 votes.
It's a good start.
Director General.
Yes.
Director General.
Right.
Did the minister call you on this young man?
No.
Did he call you on this young man issue?
No, it was after the issue.
Did he call you? I'm not saying prior or post.
Before he call you. Before he go in there, no.
But did he call you on this young man there?
No, he invited us to his office after this particular incident.
So he didn't call you?
On the phone, no.
Okay, so in the office, you discussed the young man?
Yes. Yes.
You agree with him that the young man should go and help?
No, the issue that we went to his office to discuss was that the Cape Coast Regional Director had disrespected him because he had made chief director to send somebody there. And the young man didn't get access. So he needed to get explanation from us as to how this misunderstanding went about. In fact, even after the discussion with the Honorable Minister, we gave him assurances. We perfectly support your suggestion that you gave us, because after all, it's going to help the work of the National Sports Authority.
You were here
except that we didn't know of any, I didn't know of any such prior information. Yes. I didn't know.
You were here last
Seriously,
year.
I didn't know.
You were here last year.
Yes, I just...
Director, I'm talking. Why? Why do you behave like this? Is that how you behave? Is that how you are training your children?
Sorry.
Is that how you are training your children? When you are talking, your children are also talking. You allow them to talk. Why? You were here last year. We admonished you the way you are behaving. It's not good. You're not changing. You're not changing. You're not changing. I'm not sure you learn anything from all the appearances you are coming to appear in the committee. You are not actually respecting the minister at all.
It's undermining.
You are actually undermining the minister.
You are undermining the minister.
You are actually undermining the minister. It's not good. It's not good. No.
So, after listening to this particular clip in midweek, I really sort of understood why sports in this country is not going anywhere. Because this is supposed to be the one body that is supposed to oversee the handling of, no, not even facilities. I mean, everything is sports. In fact, the anatomy of sports starts and ends with the National Sports Authority. Yeah. Now, for those of you who are a little lost, that insert you were listening to was 1, Mustafa Yusuf, the sports minister; 2, Professor Twumasi, the NSA director; chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, James Klucha Veggie; And then I think Mr. Alexander Tieku was in the background, but he didn't speak in this clip. Alexander Tieku is the coordinator of the National Sports Authority in the Central Region. Now, what basically happened is that after the Independence Day celebration last year, where they used the Cape Coast Stadium, I'm sure you all remember.
Yeah.
Good. Now, Ghana had qualifiers right after the Independence Day celebration. So the minister basically recommended the pitch expert from Right to Dream and said that, you know what, we have a little bit of a race against time here, so come and augment the work of Frank Boahin so that you can get our pitches in shape in time for the qualifiers. Now, this guy shows up at the Cape Coast Stadium and they show him where the power lies. they let him know that, by you, who sends you? You know, they didn't give him access. They basically showed the man the exit. And then he gets back to the minister and tells him that, Oga, the task you sent me to go and do, the people say I should get out. Basically, this is what is happening. And based on that, the sports minister decided that the Central Region coordinator had disrespected the minister's office, and so he needed to be transferred. First of all, I even have a problem with that. You see, if somebody needs to be transferred because of one non-performance or insubordination or whatever, then there's a problem. There should be proper punity. So what you are moving the problem from Cape Coast
to where?
To where? To be inherited.
And problem not solved.
To be inherited by which group of people? Good. Now, apparently, Mr. Tieku says that his transfer letter, which was signed by Professor Chumesi, had a confliction. So while the letter said that he was to be transferred to Accra, the same letter also said that he should be heading to Koforidua. So he decided that upon speaking to Chumesi to clarify things, he won't go anywhere. So everybody should get out. They decided that everybody should get out, so they don't go anywhere. So that is what happened. Now, when he was brought in to come and explain, he really was going in circles until Chumesi had to take up the role of explaining the matter for him. Guys, I think that, look, I've seen Professor Chumesi at work for how many years now? About 7 years now? I don't think we'll achieve anything with him as NSA head. Again, I'm also saying this because my heart is bleeding. Why? The Boteman facilities that have been done, they will be handed over to the NSA to manage. Guys, what should we do to move our sports forward? Because I'm at a loss right now. Because look, it looks like the president wants to move Professor Chumesi.
I think it doesn't look like he's going.
He's not going to.
It's not because in a proper country, you don't go and contest the primary and come back to your job. He has to go.
That's another thing. So I don't know.
And this isn't the first time he's been before the Public Accounts Committee and he's been found wanting in front of the Public Account Committee where there are several infractions.
You heard the Honorable Kluchaveji. He says you are not changing. You were here last year.
Yes.
You are not changing. Now, the bit about the transfer is only part one. Apparently, good.
Chama ke femodi, FAD, exchange word. Now go my friend, keep quiet. Cafe. Is that the way you train your children at home?
Exactly what happened. Now,
Charlie,
regarding the closure of stadia to footballing activities for concerts and all nights to take place, we found out this week that Professor Chumesi did this unilaterally. He did not consult anybody. The minister says that he did not give his approval to this, and this was done with Professor Chumesi's own approval. Again, he stated, Professor Chumesi told the committee that the NSA received 70,000 Ghana cedis from Stone Boys people for the concert. Apparently, 179. We don't know that for a fact. So let's not speculate on that. They said that that is how much Bennington Group produced or paid for this thing. Now there's another issue again. 3, where monies that were collected for a function in Accra. So the NSA is organizing a concert at the Accra Sport, or a concert is being organized at the Accra Sports Stadium. They collect the money instead of putting it in the Accra account. The money was deposited in the Kumasi account. Yeah. Now they were asked why they did that. No answer. Almost 10 minutes. They couldn't supply any answers.
This is somebody virtually working with some level of backing.
Professor Tumesi has been swimming. He's been swimming in scandals since he landed at the NSC. Some way, somehow, he's in like his 7th year.
Look,
and nobody is doing anything about it.
It's simple. This position in Ketia is an appointed position. Mm-hmm. So if His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is keeping this man at post, then it simply implies that whatever the man is doing, he's in favor.
You mean the president is happy with what Tumesi?
Exactly. Because you cannot be disgracing. You see, when the president appoints you, it's different from we voting to put you there.
Yeah.
When the president, like when you are vetted.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So the way he's behaving or the way he has conducted himself throughout the period, this man should have been sacked long ago. To anybody who is backing this man, Ghana, we live in this country. We know that when somebody is behaving like this and he's still at post, it means there are some big people who is more or less, he's their man, so you cannot touch him. How do you develop a country like that?
We can develop our sport.
Look at the way our facilities are going bad week in, week out, months after months. And for me, in Ketia, look, when I watched the proceedings, I cried. And I asked myself, if we go to school only to come out to behave the way Professor Tumesi is going, is an indictment to all of us. True. But thank God, some of us didn't go to school to come and be saying that I was given 70,000. Whilst I was you know that you were not given 70,000, you were given 170,000. Some of us didn't go to school to do that. Come on, Bible like I'm not the one saying it.
It means anybody who is a liar is
a thief. It's in the Bible. Go and look at it. Those of you have forgotten the word that send me the quotation. Put it out there. Amalilo fe amalilo juroni. Amalilo fe amalilo juroni no more. What sort of behavior is this? How can these people be crippling us like
that? The Public Accounts Committee has recommended that the Auditor General conduct a forensic audit.
All of them. NSA. I watched the one with the accountant. Yeah. You watched that one?
Yeah, I did.
Accountant, we did that mean peche. Look at the man sitting in the chair.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Is it just food?
Not because look, they are mismanaging the place. They ask him, have you visited the place? He said, I'm intending to go there. A new bluffo. Have you gone there? Yes, I've been there. No, I haven't. And the chairman asks him, have you been there? Oh, Mr. Chairman, I've visited the others and I'm yet to. Have you been there? Simple question, simple answer. Mm-hmm. Look, you see, your question is, how are we going to move forward? Beginning, people must be sacked. I don't see why. You see, when the chairman said we are directing, Mr. Minister, we are directing the police to go and pick up the
Northern Regional Director.
Tumesi should have been picked up right then. There, Taka pick him up, quick. Pick him up. Accountant and pick him up before you go and pick up the one who disrespected them. You see,
Alexander Tieku.
No owner. You see here, those of us here. Mm-hmm. When our boss speak. From the beginning, whether we are inclined or not,
you listen.
We listen and act.
You listen.
Maybe later,
you boss, can ask questions later. Yeah.
Do you know why that is so? It's because of the way Samens has carried himself. You know that when it comes to your boss, there are certain things you dare not
do. Yep.
No more. In Kanuwe Basani. Can no one say, can hear dollar like a no hear door. The minister there, how can you be giving out directives and people are disobeying?
And from what we listen to at the public account,
the quotation has come.
It looks like Tumesi has no regard for
the minister.
Yeah, that's what the man said.
And do you know who I blame? It is the minister.
Yes.
I blame.
Yes.
That is the point I'm making.
The man said it. He said you're undermining the minister.
And you're somebody who works under you.
You are undermining the minister. You are disrespecting the minister.
But coach, is that also maybe there's the bit about how he carries himself, but is that also not because Tumesi knows that no matter what he does, the minister can't do anything.
But at the end of the day, that could be one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But if the minister heard that all sporting activities have been closed down, and he knows that the final decision to close that place should come from his office, he could have said, no,
you can't do that.
You cannot do that. So then we'll see whether Tumesi indeed has got the powers of somebody or not. So minister then challenge Minister he should be sacked. Football, basa. The minister should be sacked immediately. I have already said this long ago after Qatar. Sack this minister. Sack him. Because at the end of the day, the disgrace, the embarrassment is becoming every week. Every week, there are new issues to talk about. So we are pleading. We shouldn't be. This is not what we voted for. No, for here. Last week, I think even J Mensa, she votes.
She does.
But when it comes to our sports, it's not about NDC, it's not about MPP, it's not about any political party. It's about the image of Ghana. The image. Look, you haven't seen the way the Accra Sports Stadium is looking.
Hold your horses on the stadium. Now, let me play you.
No.
Let me play you what ensued at the PAC on the stadium.
What is the primary purpose of our sports stadia? Sporting activity, religious activity, entertainment. What is the primary purpose of our sports stadia? Sporting activity, religious activity, entertainment. What's the primary purpose of our sporting facilities?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the main purpose of our sporting activities, sporting facilities, is for us to use those facilities to develop talent, and also for competitions, whether national or international competitions.
As Minister for Youth and Sports, did you authorize the suspension of sporting activities at our major stadia, the Accra Sports Stadia and Kumasi Sports Stadia, over the festive period, the December period? Did you, as Minister for Youth and Sports, suspend the use of the stadia?
No.
You did not?
No, I did not.
Are you aware that the National Sports Authority, under the direction of the Director General, suspended use of the sports stadia for footballing activities in the middle of the Ghana Premier League?
Yes, I'm aware. And I did call him to ask, and he said and my major concern was on the pitch, because the pitch during that time, even though the National Sports Authority by law is the authority having the powers to manage all the sporting facilities for us and to ensure that they are in good shape. Once we have a major tournament coming, the African Games, and we have also the Premiership ongoing, my major concern is how much are we getting from these social events that we are giving out to these facilities to, whether even if they use it, we're able to maintain this facility. Is something that I've engaged the Director General that going forward, this should not be done, because at the end of the day, once whatever you get from them, pay the fees and charges that has been approved for the authority to collect, whatever they are going to get from this
social big events that they organize, might not be able to maintain them.
The funny things going on, the revenues that came did not go into the NSA's regular accounts. They are being, I mean, I have documents that show that the money went to Kumasi and then they inflated the cost of a pump and bought the pump with invoices that are questionable. It's just absurd. But clearly, people are creating, looting, and sharing at the NSA. And I support the recommendation of the committee chair that the Auditor General must conduct a special forensic audit of the NSA, because it's just unthinkable. The NSA has, and you know, there's this issue of the vehicle, the NSA vehicle that's outstanding. I mean, just listen to the chronology of events and make your own conclusion. The NSA always parks its vehicles in Kumasi at the Sports Hotel, which is part of the Kumasi Sports Stadium, very close to it. The new Director General comes in, a brand new pickup is bought. He gets to Kumasi with his driver and says, I don't want you to park at the Sports Hotel. Go and park at a new hotel, a different hotel. The vehicle is parked at that hotel. That very night, there's a robbery at the hotel, and the only thing that's stolen is the pickup. The police are informed, and when the police go to the hotel, that very night, again, was the only night that the hotel turned off its CCTV. Until today, the Director General had taken money to do comprehensive insurance. So, from the NSA. So then they say, okay, then go to the insurer to replace the vehicle. He cannot produce the insurance documents. So, and it's been 3 years, a brand new pickup. I mean, this is the same man who came to this committee and assured me when I asked the public interest question that they had pitch covers. Today now he's telling you about 4 days. Why, doesn't he know that musical concerts are not set up in 3 hours? And when I asked him about it, he said he had pitch covers. So you are seeing theft, you are seeing blatant lie, you are seeing misappropriation of state funds. I mean, how do we continue like this? And the clear disrespect and undermining of a sector minister is mind-boggling. I mean, except somebody sitting somewhere in maybe the Jubilee House is backing what the Sports Authority DG is doing, you can't see how this will happen in any institution.
Just from what the Honorable Sam George has said alone, it's enough to get you mystified.
One word to describe the action of this. If this is not demonic, if this is not evil,
Charlie,
I don't know. Look, if there's any better word out there, somebody should send it to me.
I don't know about you guys.
I'm lost. My vocabulary to describe this is gone.
I don't know about you guys, but me personally, like
the car turned into an unconfirmed.
It flew away.
Brand new pickup.
Flew away.
Into an unconfirmed. Like some flew from Tamale to Burkina Faso. This one flew from Tamale to where?
I believe I can fly.
What country are we living in?
Fly away.
Flew from whichever hotel he had parked it at.
You see? They talk, maybe just one thing that you talk.
Yeah, look, me personally, me my pim like
you're dumbfounded. Because listen to this, what the Honorable Sam George said.
The CCTV. Because do you know why I'm saying this? Look, if the NSA works, right, sports in this country
will be excellent.
Will work. Do you know what I suggest? I think the NSA should be absorbed by the sports ministry. So they won't exist.
They won't exist. Let the ministry to
because in its current state, all they do is create financial loss for the state. That is all they do. They don't do anything.
I'm pleading with the people of Stoneboy and Wale Shatta. You can receipt about. Receipt you transaction you pay na 170.
You see, the Honorable Sam George.
But somebody's manager said it.
Yes. And they have done. You see, the Honorable Sam George, he won't put a figure like that on record when he doesn't know. He knows what he's talking about.
Sam George
said he was ready to face. And provide all the necessary receipts to it. So
no,
it's not like he was
like I'm saying.
Some figures.
So if Chumesi is still at post,
yes.
If he's still
it can only mean one thing.
It can only mean one thing. We voted for His Excellency. Then you want to
this weekend they said there are 5 species of grass growing on the Accra Sports Stadium pitch. Meanwhile, the African Games begin in less than a month. Please.
Somebody, I got this message. I'm going to read it verbatim.
Okay.
It says, I'm at the Boteman Stadium and I am saddened as a Ghanaian. A month to the start of the games and construction is still going on. Sad. Cameroon is hosting the African Championship in Athletics in August, and their stadium was completed, tested, and certified by World Athletics last year, September. So almost 1 year, Cameroon Stadium
They're ready to go.
is ready. They've tested, they've approved. So they're just waiting for the people to show up, and then we run or jump or whatever.
See,
Ben, as for me, I've always said that, and I was telling the guys in the newsroom that if you ever want to get angry and or sad
I remember what you said
about this country, watch the public committee hearing. Just watch.
You see, when Senegal transformed their football, we'll say it here again.
Yeah.
Their National Sports Authority
collaborated
with their sports ministry and their football federation
and the government
to marry everything to do what they are doing.
But here is different because the NSA picks fights with GFA. The NSA picks fights with sports ministry.
As we speak, no, hold on. In fact, as we speak, the NSA say that as far as CAF certification of the pitches are concerned, it is the FA who is sabotaging them, and that if
they need to alert them,
when CAF are coming, so that they will know what to do. I mean, how can you even work in a structure like this? Look, I'm saying it here today. Look, I'm just saying, I don't think there needs to be any drawn out convo about this. The NSA needs to be absorbed by the sports ministry. Because as things stand now, the NSA, they don't do any work that benefits anybody. All they do is spend money that they can't account for. That is all they do. Spend money and then they absorb. Like, do you know there's a pillow fighting federation?
Oh yeah. Was it not the one they wanted to start in the schools? Pillow fighting.
They don't.
There's Chinese canoe or something.
Dragon boat.
Most of the chairs are broken.
Dragon boat.
Look, Agushi mini. They're much longer for Agushi. Grass no Agushi.
It's not Agushi.
It's literally control on the Agushi stew.
Didn't you see?
They say there are 4 species or 5 species of grass growing on their grass stadium pitch.
Guys, so we see why. We see why we don't do well in sports. We see why. The basic places where sports will be done. Look at how we are managing.
Somebody has been transferred. That one safe. It will take you almost 17 minutes.
The letter that states the transfer of Mr. Teku, the heading says he's been transferred to Eastern Region, but the body of the letter says he's been transferred to Accra. And so where does the man go? And he talks to the NSA boss. And the NSA boss tells him,
stay at post.
It is deliberate.
It's deliberate.
So because the NSA boss knows that there is a public account.
Then he wanted to go to Parliament.
Chumesi has foresight, but he has foresight for the wrong thing.
He wanted to go to Parliament.
He's still for the...
He got 7 votes. And then after he lost, he's gone back to being NSA boss again. Like nothing has happened.
Ben, that's why I'm saying that. There's something very wrong with our governance structure. Anybody who studied basic government, right? You know that when you get up to go and contest
for a public office,
you have to leave
your vacated your post.
Vacated your post. But he goes to contest, gets 7 votes, and he's back as if he went for a funeral over the weekend.
Who do you blame for that?
And I'm saying I blame his supervisor, his boss.
Who is his boss?
I blame 2 people. One, his immediate boss, the sports minister. But I also blame the president, because why have you made this appointment and yet your attention is not there? There's this thing,
and this is in the first time he's been found.
Yes, there's this thing I learned, dealing with people working.
He's been swimming in scandals.
They call it monitoring and supervision. Monitoring and supervision. So when you give somebody work, you monitor the work, then you supervise. But nobody seems to be supervising Professor Chumesi. And even when he has to be supervised, he clearly does not regard his superiors.
No, Professor some of us were taught by professors.
You know, so Ben, like I said,
they didn't behave like this.
I blame his immediate boss, the sports minister. And I'll say it again. I told
he doesn't respect the sports minister.
I told some people working in the sports minister's office that the sports minister needs to stand firm and show that he is in charge.
He has to leave. The next person coming will have to stand firm and make sure he's in charge.
And again, ultimate responsibility. I'm quite disappointed in the president because how are these things happening? And yet, like, you are not showing any, because when people visit the president, Ben, when people visit the president, don't we all get the vibe that he likes his sports and likes his football? When Memphis Depay went to see him, was he not telling Memphis Depay?
He was speaking Wolof with Patrice Evra.
Telling Memphis how he used to see Di Stefano and chit-chatting with Patrice. So clearly the president has this affinity for sports.
He's a sportsman.
And you cannot just leave it at lip service. You will have to do something bigger.
I think the president still believes in sports as nothing but pure recreation. And that's how it comes off to me. Because, again, when I play teasers on my show before the show starts, it's not because I like to laugh. I like people to listen.
And to give context to problems.
I like to give context to things. And I want certain things to continue ringing in your minds. Let me give you an example. The teasers have evolved over time. I used to play Kwesi Nyantechi's episode at the Jamepe Commission back in the day when he was being interrogated by Justice
Honorarium.
Good. It was not because I just like Nyantechi or I find that clip funny. There was a time where I used to play Keto Kreku's unveiling of Milo. It's not because I just found it funny. It is because there is context to it. And one day, the context is what we are seeing. Arrive and make grandiose speeches for Milo, who is washed,
and this
but don't show up when Chris Hughton is doing his thing. That's the thing. Now, in that clip I used to play, I remember our colleague Songo, Patrick Ajeman, he asked the president, Mr. President, do you care about the white paper and the Jamepe Commission and the recommendation? He says, on the issue of the white paper, to be honest, I have forgotten. See, I played it so many times, I don't need to refer to the clip again.
Of course.
He says, on the issue of the white paper, to be honest, I have forgotten.
And his sector minister at the time, Isiama, will not even remind him.
See, that is the posture of the first gentleman of the land
when it comes to sports.
But you see, I don't really blame him because the Jamepe Commission was cooked up by his political opponents. So once it was brought in by his political opponents, he can even care less.
You see, then this country will not go forward.
Because we politic with everything. Sports should be one of those things that should not have a political arm. Sports makes MPP happy. Sports makes NDC happy. Sports is it makes everybody is happy. Everybody is happy. Sports is one of those things where you don't play political. You know what's crazy for me?
Is happy.
Deciding to be purposeful and vision based in sports is not even hard. If you see the kind of monies that we invest in, that we've wasted and bled away in other areas.
Do you know what?
Nathan, $200 million can change the sports fortunes of this country.
Have you read an article that is in the Daily Graphic? I think today's Daily Graphic by Toby Afede.
Where I think he criticized the Bank of Ghana. It was actually published in December 2023.
In this country have the Bank of Ghana, the average worker takes home 60,000 Ghana cedi every month.
60,000?
I'm telling you, annually it's over 700,000.
Damn.
The average worker. And when you go there, according to that article, you have most of them also in debt because they've taken loans. You know, 60,000 Ghana cedi. That's a answer. A shabo. In this country, look, we are doomed. I couldn't believe it. What country is this? No, football, I feel. One fair football, but that is the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
So it cuts across
Everywhere.
Like something like the wise saying goes, he says how you do something is how you do everything.
Everywhere. You know, Ben, so like I was saying, it's simply because when it comes to sports, we don't see its value. Ben, we do not see its value, right? And we see it as one of those things. And all of us around this table, we've been to other places. We have colleagues in other places. We sit and watch. But if you look at how some other countries view sports, it's amazing. Not only are they concerned about who scored and who won, but they are looking at the fact that sports is like a tree with deep roots. It touches every part of society. It can lift people out of poverty. It can change people's lives. It can give people hope. But the most important thing, it is a point around which a country can develop and rally. We've all seen what sports has done for some countries. Jamaica. The two things that have promoted Jamaica in this world. Two things. Okay, maybe
reggae music.
Okay, the third one maybe we can't say.
Yeah,
but the two.
A special plant. Yeah, a special plant. Yeah, a special plant. It is one, a special plant, reggae music and athletics.
Jamaica. Three things. Three things.
They've identified their strength and they are maximizing
top level emphasis on the special plant.
You understand? Three things. One is sport. The other is music. The third one is the plants. But the point I'm making is that if sports can lift, you see now, like I said, Jamaica's profile as a country from the year 2000 went up because of sports. People who could run.
Athletics. Usain Bolt is still the 100 meters world record holder.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Every month, every year, they give him money for that.
So we need to get a lot more serious about how we think about sports. And this goes out to all the politicians also. It's campaign season. I've already started hearing
NFL and NBA too.
Listen to me. I've heard all kinds of things.
Yeah,
one candidate talking about NBA, NFL. The other candidate will build. Listen to me. Look, sports is not just mere campaign promises. We need to start putting plans in place.
Look, ask them that. You see, the youth resource centers that they claim to have built, and it's an infrastructural legacy.
Where are they?
Who is benefiting from it directly? In fact, the Youth Resource Center in Axim was supposed to have been ready in April last year.
Yeah, it's still not.
Today, they have still not handed it over.
If you cannot put in shape
Azuma Nelson
No, don't call it Azuma. He says he doesn't want his name on it.
Yeah, of course.
He doesn't want his name attached to that edifice.
Any government who comes out with a sports policy, I'm telling it to you, maybe that is where I would draw my line and vote. If you don't tell me you complete the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex in 6 months, I will not vote for you. And this is a simple advice to both NBC and NBC.
I don't even think it is in their plans. Yes, so that's what's going on. Let me read a few messages that are coming through. We'll discuss a few other things. We'll talk some athletics as well on the show today. Kelvin from Tema says it's good to hear from you once again. I'm happy my Arsenal team is here. Emmanuel Ni Awule says good evening. This one too is called a professor. When you ask him a question, he deviates. I wonder why the president can't sack him, or is there something we don't know? Edwin from Adenta says, how true is this? I learned Keto Kreku has proposed for the amendment to the law to allow him to go for 3 terms. If so, this guy doesn't have shame. It's about time the media stops being lenient to him and puts him in his rightful place. Well, leniency is not what we do here. And if you've been listening, that is definitely a proposal that has been put forward. I don't think it's gotten to Congress level yet. So that's how things break down at this point. Xylix Dwayne in London says, Ghana is just a crime scene. Anyway, Liverpool win tomorrow. John in Ashaiman says, good evening. Was the National Sports Authority boss being elected as an MP aspirant? He definitely was. He went to stand for the primaries in his constituency. This one says, Coach Nimli is right. The Prof. Tumesi's behavior, conduct, and mannerisms reflects who the president is. The nation has been doomed to fail for at least the next 30 years. let me, coach. You want to read something from that paper for us?
Look, from this is the Daily Graphic of today. This is an article attributed
Just
to
a
one
quick,
of the, to one of the biggest investors in sports in Ghana. Togbe Afed, of course, the owner, the Bangrel of Accra House of Folk. I'm just reading a short. He said what? And they reward themselves. He's talking about the Bank of Ghana. He said, and they reward themselves very well, increasing their salaries by a whopping 68%. Personal cost announced to 1.6 billion Ghana cedis, with a total of 2.00 with a total of 2,203 employees. This means an average of colossal 726,000 Ghana cedi per annum, or 60,000. Listen to this, or 60,523 Ghana cedis per month. Per month. Per month per employee.
Hey.
And we say, and you see, and then he wanted to say that on the average 505. Look, Charlie.
The numbers are giving you palpitations.
I can't believe this. How can we believe in this country where the average worker at the Bank of Ghana is taking 60,000 Ghana cedis per month?
You want to get into that, you get a headache. Gabi, let me take your submissions on the NSA, Prof. Chumesi, and where we should be going with this organization.
When I watched the sitting last, when it happened,
Tuesday,
it took me to the first one that happened. And not just that. There was a time, you remember, Ben, there was a time in this same December period, there was this concert at the Accra Sports Stadium, and Peter Chumesi was on a different platform.
Yeah.
And he was asked a simple question that we've seen your people mounting podiums on the pitch.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate? And then he boldly said, they are not going to do the thing on the pitch. It's outside. So that's after the tartan tracks, outside. So that's where the thing is going to happen. And I'm starting my point from this because, look, Peter Chumesi is a man that he's really wicked. No, because you can't sit in front of a public accounts committee
under oath
and be lying about certain things. Let me tell you this.
Under oath.
Zachariah verse what? Zachariah. No, open. Let me read the chapter. No, read more chapter.
You like that. We'll get to the scripture.
Zachariah. No more born and no view no money.
We'll find it. Let Gabi
finish your point.
So
one at a time.
After the Stoneboy concert, before the Stoneboy concert, or it is after.
Yeah.
There was another event that had a group of what? It was a church event. And remember we did a report after that to analyze the situation of the pitch. So I was trying to dig up numbers in relation to the amounts the NSA had. So when you combine the Stoneboy event and the church event. Now I spoke to somebody within the NSA. And the person would like to remain anonymous.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Would you believe that Peter Chumesi takes decision and leaves them out? And so there are two people he works with on that board who are clearly not in the know of what he's doing. And they cannot speak.
He's a one-man wrecking crew.
They cannot speak to the media because they are scared of certain things.
Obviously.
Prof.
You get it. So me, when I watch, when I watch Mustafa Yusuf say that he wasn't aware about Peter Chumesi's whatever he was doing with the pitch, I wasn't surprised because then it cements whatever info I've had from the NSA.
My thing is, what have they done with the money they've collected?
That's the big question. That's the big question, and that's the thing the person also mentioned about that. Look, you claim the event we hold at the Accra Sports Stadium, you are getting more revenue than the clubs who play their home games there. So Accra Hearts of Folk, Great Olympics, Accra Lions, and even some of the Division 1 clubs. So then what are you doing with these monies that you've got? Nothing to show. You get it? So, and my biggest headache is that, like we said, he doesn't look like a man who is going anywhere. Because if the first sitting he was called, to break down whatever they've done with the money, and he was unable to do that. He sat there and oversaw whatever in a second time.
You should have reproduced that pickup.
No, as soon as that pickup issue happened,
that sort is happening.
Charlie, it was more than enough grounds for him to get sacked. It was more than enough grounds for him to get sacked.
Finish.
So you see, I think look, and like Coach has said, if you want to really do something with our football in this country, those people need to vacate their positions.
Sack them.
They need to vacate. Because if you want to do, if you want to perform in football, one of the key things you need is infrastructure. And my biggest headache is that with just some few weeks to the start of the 13th African Games, you are saying that the Black Satellites will be playing their home games at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Black Princesses will be playing their home games at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Have you seen the state of the pitch?
Agushi Niyot.
These are young players, talent development. You want to put them in the right state, and you're not even giving it the best of tips.
Mushroom pitch,
you see, and that's it's not looking good. Look, man, it's not really looking good on him.
Oh my God!
You see, that's the thing.
Look good on him.
That's the thing.
Wow.
You see, Gabi, that's the thing. That's the problem we make here. Tumesi doesn't care about looking good.
That is the issue.
And I think that's the crossroad we've arrived at. But I will close the chapter on the NSA here because it looks like we are crying more than the bereaved. You see, because
let me just make a quick comment on the Cape Coast pitch.
Yeah.
You see, last week when you referred to the state of the pitch, I happened to speak to Frank Wine. In fact, he called me.
Yeah.
And then when he according to him, when those pictures were taken, there were people working on the page. And in fact, they had decided to turn the page into the state in which it is. And that he can assure me, and for that matter, I asked him, do you want me to make this statement on your behalf? He said, yes. And that he can assure the people of Ghana, when it comes to the Cape Coast pitch, as part of getting the grass to be top-notch and very green, which he has been assigned to, the state of the pitch now, or let me use from last week, is part of the process to getting it to look very, very green. So Ghanaians should not worry about anything. The Cape Coast pitch will be in top state for the All African.
Let me also make it. See, Frank Bahin, you are lying. I'm telling you, I'm telling Frank Bahin, if he's listening, I'm saying
Frank
that.
Bahin has been with
I'm
them
saying
for so
that.
many
Yes, that's what he said.
He's
So
part of the problem.
Frank Bahin has been with them.
Anybody who can tell me that, see, there's no good pitch in this country.
How long have the green grass technology been working with?
And I have,
you don't want to blame them per se, because I'm very close to him.
True. The truth about
he works. He doesn't get paid,
coach. But that's the problem. You see, I've interviewed Mr. Boyan since I joined this profession.
Right. That's right.
Look, I understand that he works in a government system, and so sometimes he must play ball if he needs to get paid. So he can work for close to a year, and they have not paid him. Why are you even still doing this work? Maybe when the money comes, it is good enough to cover everything else. But you see, at this point, he has become an enabler. Why am I saying this? Look, if anybody around here has seen a pitch in this country that rivals what is being used in Cote d'Ivoire, no. I'll get up and leave the microphone right now.
But I don't know if you saw the interview from Henry Asansi.
And I am telling you that, you see, in this country, a green pitch does not equal a good pitch. See,
of course.
They cut the pitch from back home. The pitch, they can give you some camera angle from behind. The pitch looks really green. That's why somebody went to do. Now you can look at the pitch. You can look at the pitch directly, like from close range. And then you will see the Agushi coach is talking about.
Oh, it's there. After now, even from 200 meters, you can see the Agushi.
You will see hibiscus. You will see mimosa. Charlie,
down to Sparrowjara. I went to, there was a certain corner there. Then Sparrowjara. Green.
No, I think, listen. If the parliamentarians are, I know Honorable Sam George listens to sports.
Yeah, of course.
Look,
of course.
I don't. It hurts me that the legislations that govern the Public Accounts Committee don't give them direct power to punish. Because if you say you are recommending for there's every chance that the body you are recommending to won't take your recommendation. You see, and that's why people like Chumesi are still drawing. I'm sure when they call him to go to the public accounts committee, he finds his best suit and then has a good laugh and then knows that nothing will happen to him.
How do you go to school and come out as a professor and then you go and behave like that?
You see, me what's
even small boy?
What even brought about today's conversation for me is the fact that we are going to hand over the Boteman facility
to him.
Have been built
He must be sacked immediately.
So those of you, the cow bank money we went to borrow to build those facilities, if you want to give it to Chumesi to leave it in the states that Esipon and the Accra Sports Stadium are in right now.
No, I've forgotten about Esipon. Oh.
Oforiata said Esipon was 90% done with renovation. You can play Pampana in there. You can have, it's like a haunted house. Charlie. We are not serious in this country. Because Chumesi has been endorsing pillow fighting associations. Serious country. You have a pillow fighting sports federation. Pillow fighting.
And also introduce it into the education system. That's what absolutely kills me. That you want to introduce it in the education system. Pillow fighting.
Who are we going to be competing with?
Charlie, let's
other countries, of course.
Let's talk about
other countries do pillow fighting.
Let's talk about the Ghana Football Association. Briefly on them, the demo is coming on the 14th. I've seen that the great Prophet Odro was visited this week. I like the quote from when they visited him. He says that the demonstration is to depict that it cannot always be business as usual.
Exactly.
And this demonstration is a rude awakening.
That's it.
Awakening.
No, Prof. Patronia Mishra
if you have all men of God, do you know they like football? They like football.
Now,
you ask them to stood Anaba. Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus. You know, this is actually the second time he's called out Kit.
Yes.
Yeah, the first time, I think it was also the World Cup.
Yeah, I think the World Cup or when we got booted out.
Let's get into Nathan. I'm sure you listened to Mr. Okreku. He says that they are going to restructure the football. The restructuring has started with Professor Minta getting appointed. Yes, so he has been appointed. I don't know why his appointment took this long, because I feel like he's been hovering around the national team all this while. But basically, bottom line, Kurt says that they've taken some of the responsibility. But then he also managed to say that they provided everything for the team to go and perform. I felt like that statement is trying to absolve himself and the FA of any blame. What did you make of all of that?
I just want to ask something. Professor Menta is the new what?
Technical director. He takes over from
the new technical director. Okay.
Initially, he was the director for coaching education.
Okay, brilliant. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
What kind of education was he supervising?
Yep.
Big question.
Right? So what kind of coaching education?
Yep.
So we need to ask ourselves, in the last, how long has he been there? For a while. Let's say, 4 years. So in the last 4 years, which coaches has he produced? I'm asking very genuine, innocent questions. Which coaches has he supervised and produced? So much so that in a few years, we can go to an AFCON with our own response to a mess fight of La Côte d'Ivoire.
Yep.
So I just want to ask the GFA, what kind of coaching education has Professor Minta been supervising? Now that he's technical director, what coaching education will he be supervising? Is it the DNA? If it's the DNA, has the DNA been taken down to the very base of the pyramid, the schools, the regions? Have we taken it there? Is the DNA permeating every part of this country? Or the DNA is some document sitting in somebody's office and he will pull it out and do whatever he wants with it? You see, we can employ people all we want. We can give them fancy titles. We can even pretend to be working. But you see, when the day of reckoning comes,
and it always comes,
you cannot hide. You cannot lie.
Let me read. In fact, the FA did its own highlights from the Meet the Press. Let me read the one that caught my eye. President Okreku, a.k.a.
Game changer.
Okreku Luther King.
Game changer.
Mr. Big speeches. He says, hold on. He says,
it's the body language for me.
Hold on. He says, I want to win the AFCON. I want to win the World Cup. I want to win every competition Ghana finds itself in. This is the collective belief and the mindset of my fellow ESCO members. I want to upgrade the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence to international standards.
Yeah. Yes.
I want to go and see Steph Curry in action before.
Yes, true. I want to date Beyonce. I want to go out with Rihanna. Listen, when we pick up the mic and say some of these very ridiculous things, what is this? What work have we put in to tell ourselves that in 10 years...
Okreku says he gave the Black Stars everything to succeed.
Okay, what did
he says he didn't interfere in the work of Chris Hughton. And he didn't interfere in Sike Akono's work. Guys, he hasn't interfered in any of the coaches' work.
As for picking up the mic and saying things to excite everybody, we can all do it. But the proof of the pudding is the hard work. This AFCON has shown us a very simple lesson. He who sits in his house and thinks he's dope and super will get exposed.
I've had over 5 years.
We've seen Ghana, man. We've played 2 AFCONs. We haven't won a match yet. And yet we tell her we want to win the World Cup.
You have changed clothes more times today than Okreku has AFCON wins.
So the question I just want to ask, Professor Minta, what coaching education were you doing as head of coaching education?
And which coaches
did you produce? And now that you are technical director, what kind of football are you going to lead us to play? Is the DNA working? Has it been taught to the local coaches? Has it been taught to the schools? When PE masters gather their kids in JSS and SS, do they train them in the way of the DNA? Or everybody's doing their own thing?
Let me just read one more bit from Kurt's episode. I'll let Coach have concluding thoughts on it before we go on. This is the bit that kills me the most. At this point, every journalist should have walked out of the room. Let me read this.
Is it the one qualification to the AFCON is a given? It's not a given.
No, hold on. He says, on the media actually. He says, hold on. He says, the FA administration has been more media friendly than ever. I'll see the look on your faces. But hold on. He says, myself, president, and more media persons serve on the executive council than ever. They are all media persons. If you look at the work we do with the Ghana Premier League, the Women's Premier League, and all our products, we have engaged media a lot, and we are working closely with the media. The concept of media officers at match venues are all part of cohesion between the FA and the media. This is where...
that is engaging with media.
This is where I came to the conclusion that what happened in Kumasi was delusion. And, those of you who actually entertained going to play a football match with the ESCOs, shame on every one of you.
Big shame.
Every single one of you. You wanted to go and play a football match. This media people, Randy Abe, media man, Keto Kreku, media person, Prosper Harrison, media person, Frederick Champo, media person. You are assaulting journalists in America. You've done it at match venues. You have gone on instances where you have refused to apologize for assault on media people. You conducted a media blackout at the AFCON. You were sleeping in a hotel with Nigeria. They opened their doors to every other country. But you are the one here telling us that.
You know the crazy part? That day,
in fact,
the morning of the presser, Sadiq Adams, his Twitter account, X, his page was blocked.
Thank you.
The GFA blocked Sadiq Adams' page.
Prosper Harrison Ado says it was an error. It was a slip of finger.
How can this be an error?
If you know the steps it takes through to block somebody.
We all know. You know what? All of us seated here, including a majority of Ghanaians. I'm using the word majority. We are in the extreme majority. We know these people. They are pretenders. There was nothing genuine about that press conference. I repeat, there was nothing genuine about that press conference. Look, Nketia, when you listen to all the speakers, Dr. Randy Abe, Keto Kreku himself, Achi, all of them, there was nothing genuine. Very typical of their mindset. We will speak for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, we'll forget it. I'm telling them, on Wednesday, they will receive the shock of their lives.
You are on the ground.
No more. On Wednesday, they will receive the shock of their lives.
February 14.
And I'm telling them.
Frederick Achampon says that you people who want to demonstrate you should consider.
You should consider what?
You should consider not
you see,
demonstrating.
The demonstration is not about them.
It's about football.
The demonstration is about football.
In Ghana. It's about saving our football.
It's about saving our football and getting those who are the decision makers, most importantly, the government of the day, to lead the way and not allow these people to rip us off like they've ripped us off. Look, he says he wants to win the World Cup. Let me tell him one practical way of winning the World Cup, which he should have said to the hearing of everybody. Henceforth, I can't Simon Ike Okrekudu at all. I will not interfere in player selection going forward. The juvenile teams, the Black Stars, are all free of hands. I will leave the technical team to do their work. Period. 2, I will never prepare a budget that says after 10 days, 11 days, a management member should be given $100,000. I will never prepare a budget that takes this country to the AFCON that says that a management member should be given an appearance fees of $20,000 for no work done. I therefore, from this day forward, dissolve every management committee associated with our Black Stars and any of our national teams. And on this matter, Dr. Randiabi was the one who shocked me the most when he tried justifying the role of the ESCO and the management members. I say, wow, dog bodente, botete. We know the things you said.
Chris, and he's an Accra Academy man too.
No, look at the door. What feel when you be in a king? Accra Academy, we don't do things like that. We are so frank and honest. When we say things, we say it with every belief, every conviction, and we tend to work towards it. Ketokreku has at least 6 to 7 football teams owned by himself. The recently our national under 20 call-ups that was made. Do you know how many players belongs to Ketokreku in that team? Vision FC, their players are not good enough.
You mean you have coached at Vision before and you know them?
They are listening to me.
20 seconds.
I am telling you that. I'm telling you that. This man is not the right man for the job. Ghanaians, all of you who are listening to this program, we are calling upon you that on the 14th of this month, next week Wednesday, Valentine's Day.
You mean
we are going to show the love for our football.
You mean the red is for our football?
Look, stop threatening people. We are hearing that you people are going to put your people to come into the crowd and come and cause chaos. We have reported the case to the police.
And you are prepared for those people?
We are prepared for those people. We are sending a warning to them.
Thank you.
Don't dare. Because
don't do it.
Don't dare.
Don't do it.
No, don't dare. The way people are annoyed, allow us in a very sober, reflective manner, do our sober walking, but get our message across. The petitions will come with timelines, and we are pleading with the authority, especially the ruling government. Look, Nimo, do you know what should be done?
Tell me.
I listened to Mr. Kobna Jiajipon on an interview he had with a Poladomotri for I think about
a while ago,
about 8 months ago.
Okay.
If you have the chance, I have the video on my phone. I'll forward it to you.
Please do.
Listen to that. I think that is the way we should go. The idea of getting football people to elect their own president, if we don't change that, we will never change. I've thought through this thing again, and I think we've gotten to the stage where the government of Ghana will have to lead the way. FIFA, they will ban us. We want to see the article in FIFA that says if the government were to go back and not allow football people to allow, like we used to do, government brings somebody, GACA, representing GACA, come on board, the government representative becomes the FA chairman, the GACA rep, vice chairman, because if you have the people running their own...
The current
conflict of interest.
The current anatomy of football people.
Conflict of interest.
The current anatomy of football people, dear.
I don't trust Ketokreku and any of those ESCO members to be people capable of, because they all have their own personal and selfish interests.
Even those outside the ESCO. Let's talk about the AFCON final. It's Cote d'Ivoire taking on Nigeria, and it's on Sunday at the Ebimpe. Oh, Charlie Stadium never say. Stadium Papa.
Stadium Papa.
Esi obi man so anka omo aseno. Esi Ghana anka omo aseno.
Ye tumesi akweno.
Inka mushrooms, kontomre, cocoyam,
sparajara, uglina,
all kinds of things we have been growing on. Oh.
Agushi Kennedy.
Breaking news from Accra House of Folk. Yeah, before we go on, breaking news.
So House of Folk finally have a coach.
Hey! Let me get my bell.
They say that they've appointed Abubakar Ouattara as the club's substantive head coach. So he's an Ivorian. He's had stints with Moroccan Giants with that Casablanca. He's had stints with TP Mazembe as the club's technical director. And so they've also got managing director, finally. His name is Mr. Dalari Anku Idiama.
We hope. Yes. We hope that hold on. We hope that supporters will not be locking training grounds and telling coaches that they cannot guarantee their safety. We hope that with this new managing director and new coach, Accra House of Folk will do things like a professional club. Thank you.
My only advice, get the man to come with his own backroom staff.
Thank you. You always say this.
Get the man to come with his own backroom staff.
Yeah.
Then it means you are ready to work.
Okay.
You are ready to allow him to do the work. If anything apart from that, no be water. Afi abadale.
Nathan, Jean-Louis Gasset took Cote d'Ivoire barely out of the group stage and then he was kicked out. MSFI has led them all the way to a final. People say, I've heard people trying to discredit, you know how football is. Cote d'Ivoire is all heart and your vibes and your ball piano, mobile coach, and your tactics.
He's coaching.
He's coming up against Nigeria. Nigeria have conceded 2 goals all tournament?
Yes, 2 goals.
How does Cote d'Ivoire navigate what the Super Eagles have become in this competition?
I think that the very first thing the Ivorians will need to do is to forget about the first game they played against Nigeria. Because the weekend's game or Sunday's game is a completely different one where there are no second chances, but at the same time, you also need to manage your own emotions on the day. The Ivorians have made it here against all expectations, against all odds, especially looking at how they started. So they need to understand that they've come a very long way. And so they don't have to put extra pressure on themselves. If you ask me, the pressure is not on Cote d'Ivoire to win that final.
The pressure is on Nigeria.
The pressure is on Nigeria to win.
Cote d'Ivoire are 2-time winners.
Yes.
Last time they won, it was against Ghana.
Somebody will argue and say, but Cote d'Ivoire are playing at home. Yes, but if you looked at the table after those games they lost, nobody thought they were going to get here.
Nope.
So the pressure is not on them, and they'll have to understand that. But at the same time that the pressure is not on them, their home fans are there, so they want you to perform. So managing their emotions will be very key. For MSFI, he needs to trust his instinct. There's no need to second guess. This is not the time where you get to a final and say, let me change the team. Let me bring this person in. If somebody's not available, they are not available.
Yeah.
You need to trust. You need to trust the soldiers who have led you to this point. And he has to keep doing the same thing. Sebastian Aller's introduction has been brilliant. He's given them
love him to
a new dimension. He needs to trust players like Adingra and co. I don't know whether Adingra will start, whatever. Chris can help us with the tactical bits. But I've been impressed with Adingra's courage and the bravery with which he's only, 20, 21, whatever.
Yeah.
He's played with so much bravery. So MSFI needs to trust the team that has gotten him here. He needs to trust the players he believes can get them the result. But the most important thing on Sunday is to keep going no matter what. Keep going. Because
show 3 first half, I keep going.
No, but the point is, I mean, at 3-0, man, I'm just talking about a situation where you are still in it. I mean, 3-0, that's a final.
Then they're gone. Yeah.
You are not Liverpool to come back from 3 down, right?
Agree.
So they will have to keep themselves alive in as much as
keep
possible.
yourself in the game.
Keep yourself in the game at all times. But I'm going back to this because there's a lot of this game. I think is a bit more mental than tactical. They need to manage the emotions. The fans will be calling for it because they are at home, they are here, they want to win.
Yeah.
But they need to manage their emotions and keep it running. When you look at Nigeria, they've played well. Are they destructible? Yes. Has the team managed to find that thing? No, the South Africans almost found it. Yeah. But then you have to credit Jose Peseiro. He's been smart the entire competition, changing game to game. Yeah. And I think that semi-final, if anybody had doubts about Victor Osimhen's quality, I think that semi-final reminded everybody that Victor Osimhen is a super striker. He may not have scored 10 goals, but what he's doing for this Nigerian team,
I think that's been my biggest takeaway from him. And I feel like a lot of players can learn from what Osimhen and Ahmed Musa are doing. The guy on the bench
is the captain.
He's
not causing confusion.
Sharing the team supporting.
Yep. He's not substituting himself into games and bringing himself into games.
You are shaking this table.
Ahmed Musa is sharing his team on from the bench. Osimhen is showing that as a striker, you mustn't always be the one in the spotlight or in the headlines.
It's about Nigeria.
And I'm sure Osimhen is happy that he's in the final as compared to having probably scored 4 goals and probably would have been back home or would have been back with Napoli. I'm sure Osimhen is happy. But coach, I'll come to Yao and Gabi before we go. Tactically, who wins this game for you and why?
Tactically, the Nigerians have shown throughout the tournament that they don't fancy dominating the ball. Because it's all about tactics.
Yep.
They believe that if they are solid defensively, it will win them the cup. And like you rightly said, they've considered how many goals? 2.
2.
One from open play.
They are looking to equal Ghana in the AFCON trophies. They have 3.
One from open play.
The other from a penalty spot. Yeah.
So as a coach, if I'm tactically analyzing that, I would say they've considered only 1 goal.
Yeah.
Why have they done so? They've always gone a back 5. A back 3 with wing backs. And is it surprisingly, the Lookman and Simons combo is not a wide combo.
Which is weird because both of them typically are wide men.
So what is more Simon wider than Lookman?
Yes.
Lookman is a bit more narrow.
You see, when you draw the 18 here, you see the 2 edges of the 18 line.
Yeah.
Osimhen is rolling directly where the arc is. And the formational shape means that Lookman and Simons are supposed to stay within the 18. So if you were to break that into 3, you will say that they are at most 9 meters or 9 yards apart. Now, that allows their fullback or their wing back from Nottingham Forest, Ole Aina, and the other chap to join the attack. What the Ivorians really needs to do, 2 things. Target Alex Iwobi. Target Iwobi in the sense that force him to be a bit more defensive. He's not good at that. So that becomes a quick avenue to get them exposed. That was what the South African did. And look, credit must be given to the Nigerian coach. In that second half, the moment he saw that after the first 15 minutes, he pulled off Iwobi, come and sit down. Because now the South Africans were overly dominant. They were dominating the ball.
Ali Kelechi has been sitting on Nigeria's bench the whole time. But you won't even know.
You won't know.
Chukwueze has been sitting on the bench the whole time.
Murphy.
Players who are better than some of our players.
Hands down. Murphy is a big guy in the league. Murphy.
Nketia, what the Ivorians really need to do, like I said, target Iwobi. And I'm happy that Ale is now fit. Because when Ale was not playing, Fofana, Sangari, they had up top. They felt that they need to carry the ball. And that is not their strength. They are not ball carriers. They are winners of the ball and quick passers of the ball.
Yeah.
So when you are giving them that extra responsibility of carrying the ball, once they begin to, because look, the age of Fofana is not that, he's not on the good side of the age. And we saw that against Mali. They were very poor until Ale came in. What Ale brings is the fact that he doesn't allow them to carry the ball because they can easily go with one to him.
Yep.
And he's very good in the air, can bring it down, and then they can quickly join him. And that is where Adingra, I'm happy the chap who scored the winning goal against Mali, who got sent off for is back. Diakite is back. No, I think he's a natural orthodox winger. He's the best orthodox winger I've seen in the competition. Somebody who fancies himself going to the bar line and putting in those crosses. Gradel did that. That was how come they were able to beat Congo from that brilliant finish by Sebastian Haller. The Ivorian coach should not make any mistake of trying to match the shape of Nigeria. No, there's no need to do that. What I would have done, or what I will do if I'm the head coach, I will restore Diakite and take off Max Gradel. Because it's going to be a final game.
Yeah, Max Gradel is old.
He's old and very tight, and he needs to burn a lot of energy to be able to get the Ivorians to be on the ascendancy. There will be moments in that game when Nigeria will be on top, Cote d'Ivoire will have to defend.
Yeah.
That is where, as Nathan is saying, the supporters will have to understand that it is not about going. It's about, at moment, having the proper defensive line cover and putting more men behind the ball. Let them have the ball. It's the final. The cup sits there. The cup is there.
It's one chance. If you
one
lose,
chance is gone.
Yeah.
Just one mistake is gone. And look, from the way Osimhen has played, and he's matched up against these Ivorian defenders already, he caused them lots of problems in that first game. So I'll be shocked if there isn't an antidote. Let me just give quick antidote on how to mark the two strikers. Let me start from Ale. Ale is not that mobile, but he's very good in the air. So if you are marking, or if you want to deal with a striker that is very powerful in the air, you don't go 1v1 with him in the air. You put somebody in front of him, somebody behind him, get him to be in the middle of the defensive shape, so that when the ball goes up, his interest is not only to knock the ball, but before he can get the ball, he needs to brush off the one in front of him. And most often than not, they happen to foul that player, and then you win the free kick, and then you begin to transit from there. On the part of Victor Osimhen, again, what the Ivorians cannot do in him, what you need to do is to cut the supplies to him. And that is where, again, I mean by what? Target Alex Iwobi. Because it's like the boy from Brentford, the number Onyeka does all the dirty work and just give the ball to Iwobi. Well, watch. Most of Iwobi's passes are forward towards Lookman. And when the ball gets to Lookman, then Osimhen starts moving all over the place. When it gets to Simons, then Osimhen starts moving. You don't want Osimhen to be on the move and positioning. Look, he's so good. Nathan, have you watched him? He's so good at positioning himself when the ball goes out wide. You see him recycling his movement just to be on the blind side. He knows that once the ball is in the air, he's got what it takes to outjump. And unfortunately, he's not been able to keep most of his headers down.
And he does have the energy to press. Right? So he can lead the line, but he can go after centre backs. And I think
the Ivorian shouldn't bring the bully man.
Yes. The sequence that got Nigeria the penalty against South Africa shows the other dimension of Iwobi. He can get the ball, turn and run. And the Ivorians need to think about that. Today I was asking some of my guests that does MS5 bring Willy Bolly in?
They have a
I don't know because I think he won't come in. It has to do with the midfielders.
Okay.
Would he have to start with Kessie, Fofana,
and Seri?
And they have Sangari.
No, you see, playing the Sangari, Kessie, Fofana axis is what caused them
throughout the tournament, especially in the group stages.
Once they brought Seri in, there was balance.
There was balance, and one of them will just have to look. I win it, I pass, and stay in position because they have to see.
You see, the problem is that like Ghana here. And like Cote d'Ivoire, I've said it throughout the tournament. Fofana is a massive player for them in terms of
he's a
profile.
huge player.
But I think he's also a disservice in the team.
That's right.
But they cannot afford to bench. You see what you just said? They've been a lot of times where Cote d'Ivoire have had chances where all he needed to do was just pass the ball once.
And then
he can't seem to pass the ball once or touch the ball once. He always needs to touch the ball either 3 or 4 times to get comfortable before he passes on. When he sees a running channel, it's like he hesitates. He doesn't know if he should run or not. Like, I think these things are costing the
fun. And I'm happy for the coach. One thing that their coach has done very well.
Yeah.
Look, all his substitutions
on point
has been spot on.
Let me take thoughts from Yao and Gabi, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Yes, for the AFCON final, before the AFCON final, the CAF president has spoken, Patrice Motsepe, and let me quote him. He says, I think nations like Ghana, Tunisia, Algeria, and all the top nations must be respected for everything they have achieved. The difference now is most of these smaller nations have invested so much to be competitive now. Word to the wise.
Is in the north.
Oh, you what? So, for the AFCON final, I think I honestly believe Cote d'Ivoire will win it. I expected South Africa and Cote d'Ivoire to play in that final, but once it traveled to penalties, it was always a toss-up, and it ended up with Nigeria being the winner of that penalty shootout. For Cote d'Ivoire, they would have to just guard against desperation. The fact that you've made it this far does not mean that you get desperate the moment you see Nigeria dominating possession, the moment you see Nigeria creating a lot of chances. That has been the Achilles heel of the Ivorians. And that's what caused them to lose 4-0 to Equatorial Guinea. Because in that game, they went down by a goal, and all of a sudden, they threw out everything concerned with organization, position awareness, everything that points to the fundamentals.
The home support pressure.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Keep your composure. Yeah. If they can keep their composure, honestly, they will beat Nigeria. But if they can't, because that's the only advantage that they have against this Nigerian team, that you have the momentum, you have the because you weren't supposed to be here anyway. Yeah. You have the momentum, you have the narrative pushing you, you have the home crowd pushing you, you have good players, you have talented players, and you have a coach who has made the right decisions so far in this competition ever since he took over. So the last thing you want to do is to rock the boat by just panicking and missing out on that composure level. So for me, if they can maintain their composure, yes, I'll go in for a Cote d'Ivoire win over Nigeria. But if they can't do that, because that's the one thing that they have going for them, if they can't do that, then I'm sorry, Nigeria will win their 4th AFCON final. Because like Nathan said, because like Nathan said, they are Cote d'Ivoire.
The training started already.
Because Nigeria is under pressure to win it. Yeah. They are the hands down favorites.
But they are so mentally tough. I don't see how they throw this away though. Well, Gabi, you get the final.
Well, I think that it would be a very beautiful story to see Cote d'Ivoire win it. I say a beautiful story because, I mean, if they win it, they become the 3rd country to do a host and win, following Tunisia, who did it in 2004.
The host and win, the old wow.
Nothing like host and win. Yeah, it's difficult. But you look at the emotional thoughts that they've put their fans through. You have to rely on Morocco to beat someone. And
even South Africa to draw with Zambia.
You know your chance of qualifying. You sack your head coach. You don't know the situation of your team, and then Morocco goes on to do a big win, then you qualify. So you look at the way they started, and especially with the way people are talking about how Ivory Coast has hosted one of the best AFCONs. I think if they win it, it will be a very good story. And infrastructure-wise, they've shown us that, look, they've produced one of the best. I mean, I listened to a podcast where they were highlighting that the training facilities are top notch. I wasn't there. You were there. You saw yourself.
There's one at Bengaville. That's where Ghana trains.
Yeah, so that's where Ghana.
You know where the place is like in Ghana. That place would have been a Bri Botanical Garden. So it's like a botanical garden with the training pitches in there. So the Egypt side is at one end, and then the Ghana bit's about a 10-minute walk.
The minister was there. He saw it.
The quality of the training pitches there are better than the pitches we are using to play our premier product.
And that came from the spokesperson of the FA. He should be telling his boss, don't give 100,000. Do you know how much Henry Asante took when they went to the World Cup? Do you know how much he took? Henry Asante.
I don't know.
You are comparing GPL pitches to the training pitches in Cote d'Ivoire. return the money you took when you went to Qatar, and they return it so that I'll use it to do pitches.
So I think we are in for a very good game on Sunday. I think for the Ivorians, one thing that resurrected them was the sacking of the Jean-Louis Gasset.
Yeah.
And now you can tell that the Ivorians can resonate with one of their own. They see themselves as MS Faye on the touchline.
Yeah.
And I think it will be a very big story to see one of their countrymen lead a team to a third AFCON on home soil. It's a big thing. But coming up against a Nigerian team, like Coach said, Pesero has... I mean, there were so much talks about Nigerians' defense not looking good. But look at what the Portuguese has done. He's been able to... He's aware that, look, the Nigerian teams, the strength lies with the attack.
Yeah.
But what can I do not to expose my backline? And clearly, he's been able to put up a very good 11 throughout the group stages right up. So
he's a very adaptable coach.
I think it would be a good game, but I would want to see Ivory Coast win.
Oh, the Cote d'Ivoire for win.
I want to see Ivory Coast.
Cote d'Ivoire for collect this championship.
Ghanaian.
See, Nigeria is about to equal our record if they win.
We can't stand the stress.
And see, they've won one. They won in what, 2013?
Yeah. That's most recent. And you know what it means for Nigeria? They have their last 2 AFCONs, most recent. Yeah. And you have your last AFCON.
When we were not born.
No. Ours was in the 20th century. Theirs has been in the 21st century.
They don't do this. You don't even sound that makes
it was in the 20th century.
Before we go, just a little something. Today is just a teaser. So you can see I'm in a hoodie. No be because I like guy. And yet, please put it on me. Put the camera.
It's not Nissa. It's Nissa.
Yeah, it's the Nissa Athletics Festival. Yeah, Charlie. Like I'm saying, no be like I like wear hoodie or I'm a rapper or anything. But it's coming on live. See, it is the best thing that would have happened in your life this year. The best thing that will happen in your life. I'm telling you. And it's from the 24th. It's a 5-day power festival. You know, when we say festival, it means it's not just sports. It means things are going on. Just like the way you like your thing. 50 schools.
Wow.
2,000.
Wow.
You see, when we do things here, we do it big. Chumesi. We'll come and watch.
Come and see.
50 schools.
Come and see.
I know a lot of you are itching to see your schools repping. I will give you the names of the schools we have here, just to give you an idea of what's going on. Next week, in fact, throughout next week, before even Panorama, we'll be dropping info on the Nissa games.
Now good day.
Let me show you what's going on. Now, for Greater Accra, we have St. Thomas Aquinas, Presby Boys, West African Senior High School, Accra Academy, Tema Technical Institute, Tema Secondary School, Laboni Senior High, Medina Technical Institute, Odogono Senior High, New Century Technical Institute, Accra Technical Training Center. That's just for even a small part. Now, from the northern sector, we have Ghana Senior High School, Tamale Senior High School, Dabukba Technical Institute, Bunu East, Kentampo Senior High School, Nkranza Technical Institute, Mauli Senior High School from Volta, Bando Technical Institute, and Kamboni Technical Institute, all from Volta. Now, when you go to Ashanti, T.I. Amadia. Oh, yes, representing. Osei representing. They are proper sports. Yeah. Opoku Wari Senior High School. Kumasi Technical Institute. Islamic Senior High School. Representing. Now, Northeast. You have Wale Technical Institute. Nalerigu Senior High School. And Pasipe STEM. STEM. Yeah. Bono. You have Sunyani Senior High School, Don Bosco Vocational Technical Institute, Oti, you have Dogli Memorial Technical Institute, Dambai Senior High School, Central, St. Augustine's College. Cool down, my brother. Relax. Swedro Senior High School, Biriwa Technical Institute, Edinaman Senior High School, Adisadel College, and the only school that really matter in the category. Infant Spring School. No need to shout. I beg you. Jin Shekan. Jin Dada. Thank you. Savannah. Bole Senior High School.
That's right.
Damongo Senior High School. Western. Ghana Secondary Technical School.
GSTS.
Takrady Technical Institute.
TTI.
Upper West. Wa Senior High School. Wa Technical Institute. Ahafo. Goso Senior High School. Sewa Kese Senior High School. Upper East. Bogatanga Senior High School. Bogatanga Technical Institute. Western North. Bibeni Senior High School. Seshurioso Senior High School. Now, 100 meters, boys and girls, 110 hurdles, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800, 1,005, 4x100, 4x400, triple jump, high jump. Those of you who have been doing the high jump, you run and then you dive under the pool. Better respect yourself before you come to the Nissa Games, because the Nissa Games will have implications on when you want to qualify for the Paris Olympics. Yeah, so we are not joking here. Nissa Games. So this is only the teaser. See the Augasco people they make.
Yeah.
Next song they don't go win nothing to win the finish.
Nissa the technical value.
Bless you very much, Nathan. Bless you, Gabi Milito. Yao Jamie, Coach Christopher Nimley. Thank you.
You was about. What been a 1 year? You are Yamo here. Look, I should what can actually walk or ever be no back probably. About Joe Ballet. What can Shawnee Barney? You are what can Shawnee Barney? Shawnee Barney. So Wednesday on the 14th Barney. You are demonstration. What do you here? Nikuniyeli Bafi wono ye Yesu ba me.
Amen. Thank you very much. My name is Benjamin Nketia. We'll leave you with the African Football Podcast. Enjoy.